So here in Kauai, it's pretty toasty. I mean, it's humid, but well, I guess it's not too bad. I mean, compared to like Central Point, Oregon, it's like a few degrees hotter. It's like 85 here and really humid. But really, something that's kind of surprised me is there's absolutely no air conditioning. So what they managed to do here is they get the windows and they put the shutter things in them, and usually you have like the door open and it just creates a draft through the whole hotel room, and this what all these Kauaians do in their households is they make drafts, and that's their source of cold air. So with this nice breeze comes great sacrifice. You probably can't see right now because it's very dark, but if you look up there, you can see that those shades are wide open and there's a big hallway there, so I have absolutely no privacy. Yeah. But I've decided to go with comfort and a cool breeze. And if someone is creepy enough to just stand in that window and watch me all night, I mean, they're on vacation, so I might as well just let them do it. Just makes sense. So while being in Hawaii, I have been quite the tourist. So far, I've bought like maybe 6 handmade musical instruments and at least 2 hats. I'm wearing one of them right now. It says Poipu Surf. That is the beach that I'm staying right next to right now, and it is the first I surfed on it for the first time just a few days ago, and out of some miracle I got up on the first time and rode it all the way in, and yeah, I'm quite proud of myself. And the other hat I got, it's kind of like half organic gardener, half, I want to say Australian. It's like someone who lives on an island off the coast of Australia. Let's go with an organic gardener who lives off the coast of Australia but kind of more north, so it's closer to the same temperature and climate as Hawaii would be. Because I don't think this would really be a Hawaiian style hat. But here, check this out. Oh, I don't want to mess up my shave ice. Okay, check it out. It bends. Now I'm the gardener. Australian cowboy. Oh, crikey, man, I'm gonna go catch me some gators. Gators, that's not right accent, that just kind of switched right over there. I don't know where that one came from, but anyways, I'm just gonna be the normal organic gardener from the Northwest. Hey, I like planting arugula, because that's my favorite, and carrots and such. Ooh, speaking of carrots, I went to this big growers market, a sunshine market is what they call it here, and there was just tons and tons of vendors and like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people running through. So I was walking by and I saw this man who was like kind of an older gentleman. He had like a long blonde beard, and he had like a long curly hair, and I don't think he was wearing shoes, but he was wearing like cut-off jeans, and you know, he was definitely a hippie. And so when I got up to him, I saw on his table he was selling these really, really weird looking carrots. Like most of them were yellow, and some of them just looked like kind of like potatoes that were carrot shaped. It's kind of hard to describe, and that probably sounds weird. But since they were just so cool looking, I went up to the guy and was like, "Hey man, how much are your carrots?" He's like, $3, man. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll take some. So I bought the carrots. The guy was like, man, would you like some edible flowers to go with that? This sounds like an exaggeration, but this guy, man, he was a hippie at heart. I'm sure he lived in Ashland at some point. And when I got the carrots, I expected them to be like extremely sweet and incredible because they're grown on this wonderful island. But instead, they were the exact opposite. They were spicy. Spicy carrots. And, I mean, I still enjoy them because I would have to call myself a carrot connoisseur, but that's not what you would expect coming from your average carrot, I would think, is spiciness. Okay, one more thing. There was an interaction I had earlier while I was walking down to the lobby with my 4 little cousins and my older cousin, and I think I'd like to reenact it, just in my own way. That I'd like to say is how I handled it, just because I'd be really macho and really cool if I did it this way. So here we go. So how this whole thing started, this whole weird interaction, it started with my little cousin Cody, who was 7. He was standing right about here by this thing that's used to wash off your feet after going to the beach. And he flicked this handle here, that way, and started that. And the water started coming out, and he left it there for like 5 seconds, like this. And there was a lady standing on the 2nd floor, about there. And this was her reaction. Hey, tell everybody in the place to just get out, and we'll get clean together, and I'll find me a soapbox where I can shout it. Well, you know what, lady? It would be one thing if that lady was like picking on a teenager like me, because I mean I can understand us teenagers, I mean kids these days, you know, but I mean she was yelling at my little 7-year-old cousin who was just playing with a water nozzle for like 3 seconds, and I don't know, that just doesn't seem cool to me, so it just seemed worthy of a macho sort of interaction. In fact, I think macho interactions should be a more common thing among us. I think the world would be a beautiful place if it was like an old Western movie. Like we could all just grab our cowboy hats like I just pretended to in that reenactment. I could be like, hey, old lady, don't you be messing with my nephew, you old hag. Well, I reckon I'm gonna make these videos more of a regular thing, so if you're liable to watch a few more, I'd make it feel good. It'd make me feel good if you'd subscribe.